Hello, folks. I am back again to remind you that you are the curator of your inner world. Today, we are going to talk about a very widely discussed topic in the field of manifestation, that is self-concept with regards to specific people, with regards to love. And this seems to be a huge pain point for a lot of you. In fact, I think most of the people who come into this area of manifestation, they get introduced to this area is because they are trying to manifest a specific person or they are trying to manifest love. And I've often heard people describe this area of their life to be very difficult. It's like, I can manifest everything very easily, but when it comes to love, when it comes to specific people, I can't seem to be making any headway. And they have all these ideas about their love life. Things don't work out for me. I'm always unlucky in love. I'm a one-date wonder. People don't want to commit to me. People only want me for one thing. Men only want one thing. Women only want money. Whatever it is, right? And your clue as to why you are struggling in this area of your life might be right there. One of the ways to be an excellent manifester is to know yourself. And what I mean by that, it is actually twofold. The first part about knowing yourself is to be aware of the stories that you are telling about a particular aspect of your life. How are you describing this aspect of your life? Are you describing it in a way that sucks? A way that you don't want to experience? Because if you are doing that, your clue is right there. Your clue is right there as to why you don't seem to be making any headway in this area of your life, why you find it difficult to manifest love, why you find love to be difficult in general, right? And the second aspect of knowing yourself is knowing that you are the operant power. You are the creator of your reality. You are the person who is everything. You are the 3D, the 4D, all of it. You are source. You are the God in your reality. So you are at all points choosing the experience that you are having. So now that we have figured out the problem, let us troubleshoot it. So when we try to fix a problem like this, we really need to take stock of the stories going on internally, right? This is what we just discussed. So what stories are you telling about this area of your life? Are you going on social media and watching reels about how women always cheat, men always cheat, men don't want to, don't want commitment anymore, people don't want to be in relationships, people only want to want short-term things, casual things? Is that the kind of content you're consuming? Are you consuming relationship advice that, if someone texts you, then you should wait 4 hours before you text them back, and, all of these things? Because if you are basically claiming that it is very difficult for you to just have a relationship that just feels normal, or have love that just feels normal. Remember, we are always manifesting from our identity, right? Who do we say we are? Because we are the source of it all. Whatever is going on in our internal world is what's going to be projected out there. When you are going on a date or you are with a person, are you waiting for the other shoe to drop? Are you waiting for something to go wrong? Are you waiting for things to go haywire in your reality just so that you can confirm to yourself that this is how things are? Even when things are going well, you're telling yourself, oh, something must be wrong. He looked at me funny, or he took a little long to respond to my call, or every time I call him at this particular time, it seems to be busy, or she always goes out at this particular time of the day. Are you making up these stories in your head? Guys, you really have to be honest with yourself. So let's talk about self-concept, because everything depends on how we see ourselves, which is our self-concept, our identity. That is the foundation of all of it, right? So remember what we discussed in the previous video? Remember how I told you that you must see yourself as the best. You are the operant power in your reality, right? So you are the best. You are the best. Nobody is better than you. So if you are the best, How do you think your specific person or men or women or your love interest see you? They see you as the best, right? So when we shift internally, our external world is going to shift. That is how it works. That is how manifestation works, right? So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you must see the best. You must see the most beautiful person standing in front of you, the cleverest, the most attractive. No one compares to you, right? When your specific person is not with you, they are still thinking about you. Even if they aren't talking to you right now, they are still thinking about you. They are thinking, man, she was the best, or he was the absolute best. Can't wait to talk to her, can't wait to talk to him, right? This is how you must think, guys. And especially to my ladies out there, I'm very passionate about this. Please stop comparing yourself with other people. If you are the best, how can you compare yourself with anyone? There is no comparison. You are the best. Think of it, if you find it difficult, guys, to have a neutral stance when it comes to comparisons, in your head, flip it. Think that other people are comparing themselves to you. Think that when other people see you, they are like, oh my God, I don't know how she just has the perfect life. Everything is so perfect. She seems to be so loved by her specific person, or her lady just his lady just loves him so much. Think like that, guys. Whatever is in your internal world is going to get projected out. If you persist in this is the reflection that you are going to see. And I know that a lot of you are in a lot of terrible circumstances right now, and they might be very difficult, very triggering, and you are finding it very difficult to grapple with your emotions. And this might be a reason why you find this area of your life quite difficult. Is because you kept getting emotionally sucked into a story that you clearly don't want to experience, but you're not able to let go of your emotional attachment to that story. The reason you're not able to let go of that emotional attachment is somehow you still identify as the person who's experiencing that. So let me just rephrase. Let me just give you an example of what I mean. So suppose your specific person, your partner, is not responding to you over text for a particular duration. You are sitting there thinking, oh my God, he's forgotten about me, she's forgotten about me, they're having a good time somewhere, they're not including me, the spark seems to have gone, the honeymoon phase is over. These are the thoughts going through your head. Maybe they like somebody else now, maybe they are taking me for granted. Be honest with yourself, guys. What are you saying about this area of your life? Right? So when you keep getting emotionally sucked into that thing, it's because you somewhere feel that, yeah, I can not be a priority. I can be forgotten. I can be taken for granted. And all of these things can immediately be negated if you shift internally. That no, this stuff doesn't happen to me anymore. I will make a separate video on dealing with your emotions. Your emotions are not a hurdle stopping you from manifesting your desired life, right? Emotions are just part of being human. And you must not suppress them, you must not push them down, you must process them. Because if you push them down, they are going to come up at some point and they are going to haunt you. They are going to follow you around until you process them. So we don't want to be doing that. We don't want to be pushing our emotions down and forcing ourselves to feel good all the time. But remember, whatever you accept as true in your internal world is what you're going to see a projection of. So even if you are in terrible circumstances, guys, even if you don't believe it when you say it, even if it seems like you are, just lying to yourself, still tell yourself that you are the best, because you are the best. You are the best the moment you accept that you are the best. Let me reframe it in a different way. Maybe it's very difficult for you to accept that you are the best. Maybe it's very difficult to accept that you are the most beautiful person to ever walk this earth. So think of it this way. Think of the nature of reality. We are all living in our own realities, right? Each person on this earth has their own personal reality. So in your reality, you can very well be the best. Just like in my reality, I am the best. So there is no comparison. You aren't comparing yourself with me. You are the best in your reality. I am the best in my reality. Right? Maybe that is a little bit easier to accept. And remember, especially those of you who are in terrible circumstances, who are struggling every day, who are not finding joy in anything that they do, because I understand, love, specific people, it's an emotional area of our lives, right? A lot of emotions get involved. But believe me, it is not any different from manifesting any other area of your life. It's just that, when you want to manifest a cup of coffee, you don't have a negative story attached to it. You aren't emotionally reacting to a negative story. But when you have to manifest love or a specific person, you definitely are reacting to some old negative story because somewhere you identify with it. So we are changing that today. We are giving up any comparisons. We are looking at ourselves in the mirror and saying, hey, this person is the best. They deserve the best. The person who is the best deserves the best. Think of how your specific person would look at you if you were the best person for them, the best person ever. You are always the best choice in everything. You are literally the best, the most beautiful, the cleverest. You are literally the greatest prize. How would your specific person look at you? What would they be thinking? They would think they are so lucky to have you. They would think that their life has absolutely been turned over for the positive. Everything is amazing in their life just because they have you. Exactly. When they look at you, it doesn't matter if you are dressed up or you're just, you've just woken up and you look like a mess. They are going to see the most beautiful person. They are going to think, oh my God, I'm so lucky that I can see her every day, or I don't know however often you are seeing them right now. I'm so lucky I can see them every week. Think of how they are going to be looking at you. Because the world looks at you the way you look at yourself. Why? Because the world is a mirror. Once you get this, guys, you will understand that you are not trying to solve a problem, the current reality you're in, the undesired one, the one where you don't have love, you are being ignored and disrespected, you are not in the relationship you want. You will realize that you are not trying to solve this problem. You are just choosing a different reality. That's it. You are not trying to fix this reality. You are not trying to think, how is this going to work out? When is this going to work out? You are selecting the person who is already experiencing the version of love that you want. You are the person who already has their desire manifested. You are not trying to manifest. Guys, I hear a lot of people saying this. I have been trying to manifest my specific person for 2 years, or I have been trying to manifest love. You are not trying to manifest. You have decided that this area of your life is the way you want it to be. Whatever it is that you want. You want a relationship, you want marriage, you want someone to hang out with, you want someone who is absolutely head over heels in love with you, and you travel the world together, whatever it is that you want. And you don't have to be 100% clear about it. You don't have to write a 6-page detailed essay of everything. You already know what this experience is going to feel like to you, right? So you are now already the person who has it. When you become the person who has it, you will experience this in your 3-dimensional world. Now let us come to some specific steps. Let us come to some practical steps, because I am all about the practical steps. Because when I was listening to a lot of manifestation content, I would hear these things and I would get them theoretically, but I didn't know what to do about them. I didn't know what I need to do to become another person, because I didn't feel like another person. I just felt like me. And that just didn't feel like the person who had their thing, right? So let us talk about some practical steps. Actually, I'm going to disappoint you a little bit by telling you that the steps are the same as manifesting anything. It's the same, guys, it's literally the same. So step one, you come into the present moment, you become present. How do you become present? There are various ways to do that. You can look at your hands for a few seconds. You can stare at a particular object for a few seconds. You can focus on your breathing. You can maybe focus on 5 breaths, right? You can ask yourself in your head, what's my next thought? You need to come into that quiet space in your head where your thoughts are not running the show, right? You are not constantly listening to your internal chatter, your internal dialogue. That's coming into the present moment, right? Now, what do you do from the present moment? You basically tell yourself that you have this thing, right? And you stay there as long as you can. Now, with regards to techniques, I am not a huge fan of a lot of techniques. I don't like this whole, I need to script 3 times a day, I need to vertically affirm. If you like doing those techniques, no problem at all. If you like visualizing, do it in the same way. Come into the present moment, right? Relax yourself as much as possible. Come into the present moment. See that scene in your head where the two of you are together, or you are in the relationship that you want, right? If you are scripting, do it from the present moment. Think that this is a day in your life and you are writing in your diary about your relationship, and not that you're writing to make something happen in the future. When you declare something to be in the present moment, that thing is true right now. It is not something you are doing to experience in the future. You're experiencing this thing right now. So, right, step one, come into the present. Step two, you experience your desire however you want, by saying it, by visualizing it, by scripting it, writing it, whatever, right? And after that, stay there as long as you can. And I know this is difficult for some people because their thoughts are just sort of completely taking over their lives right now. You have these fearful thoughts, doubtful thoughts. Remember, guys, you are not your thoughts. You are only manifesting the thoughts that you're identifying with. What does that mean? When I say identifying with, it means the thoughts that you consider to be true. So, for example, when you say that, so and I are in a beautiful relationship. Oh, he loves me so much. He can't stop thinking about me. And in your head, your internal voice tells you that's complete bullshit. Sorry, this person hasn't spoken to you in 6 months, right? That is the point where you have to decide whether you accept that as true or not. So you tell your internal voice to respectfully fuck off. So basically you tell your internal voice that no, that's not true anymore, sorry, that's the old reality. In this reality, this is how it is. Remember, your internal voice is a logical one. It is going to try and show you that your human self cannot figure out a path from A to B. It cannot figure out how a person who hasn't spoken to you in 6 months is actually head over heels in love with you. But we are not trying to solve the problem from hasn't spoken to you in 6 months to now we are living together. Okay? We are not trying to solve the problem. We are selecting the reality where that is already true. There are infinite realities, right? We already know this. And in the reality that you have chosen, this is true. You can accept that. We are not trying to go logically from point A to point B, right? So this is how you have to do it. Walk around, act like you are. I don't like to use the word act because it sounds like you're pretending. I don't mean you are pretending. Walk around like that thing is true right now. In your internal world. See it in your internal world. Live in your internal world as if that were true right now. This is how you manifested the negative stuff, guys. And you did it perfectly. When you think, oh, I'm sure there's something up with this guy. I'm sure he's up to no good. You don't have any evidence necessarily, but you are living in your internal world constantly as if that were true. So you do the same for the positive stuff. All right. And I know you can do it. And I'm going to make a specific video about emotions, about your circumstances, about spiraling, because believe me, I've experienced that myself. And thankfully, I've come out of that. But this can be with regards to anything. But this area of our life specifically can be very difficult to navigate emotionally sometimes. But it doesn't have to be, really does not. All right, have a good one, and I am sure you will be implementing these and you will get great results. And speak to you soon. Take care.